Welcome to Momavate Conversations on the Win-Win Women's Network. We are so excited that you are gathering with us today to care, connect, and collaborate. I am your host, Leah Westover, and I am a mother of 8. I am your host, and I want to explain to you a little bit about what Momavate does. We ask the question, what do moms do anyway? Moms raise up society. With that fun little raise up, we've created an acronym. R stands for relationships. We build relationships as mothers. We also create an atmosphere, which is your A in the acronym. Atmosphere is how the home feels. The third letter is I in income and outgo. We all have a input and how the money at least goes out as our spouse or significant other brings the money in, or even ourselves. Next is S, schedules and systems. We are always trying to evolve and create a better home that runs smoothly. And of course, we know this is through trial and error. So RAIS, and then comes the E, energy. That's where we have things that we're eating and exercise. We also have the UP acronym, which is U is for unique circumstances. And there are many of us, as we know, as we raise more than one child. There's a lot of unique circumstances per child. And then the P is for personal pursuit. Yes, Mom, we raise up society, not even for our own children, but for the community. We hope that we are sending out children that are capable and giving back to the community, and not only taking from the community, but being contributors. And that takes us to, in our acronym today, we are going to talk about work in the category of schedules and systems. So let's begin. Work. I love this. I mean, I can't even tell you how much I value what my parents have taught me about work. When I grew up, my dad was a farmer and my mom was a city girl. And they had an acre of land. And on that acre of land, we had a variety of animals. I think one of the biggest things I learned from working at home, besides doing dishes and having to go out and weed in the garden or move rocks from here to there. But I remember distinctly waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning before school and going to milk the goats. Now for this, it was not an easy task. I had to get up very early and it was very dark. And an acre may not seem very far, but when it's dark, oh my goodness, it's far. And I had to walk down there, and then you had to get this honorable goat. You had to get him in, block his head in so they'd stand on this platform while you milk. You think that's easy until the goat starts kicking its leg and gets his foot in the bucket, and that almost full bucket of milk spills all over. So frustrating. I learned a little bit about myself, that I did not like this. But I also knew that our family relied on that milk to help feed us. And I learned to appreciate that honored goat and the responsibility it took so that we could have milk for our cereal, for our drinking, and for our health. Okay, so what's this mean? Work is taking something, a task or skill or ability to accomplish something else. So how does that apply to our kids? They come to us, we feed them, we clothe them, and we go from there. Well, one of the things we can do when we start our little ones raising, we noticed that they started being curious, and they start developing certain skill levels. So we look for those age appropriate tasks that they can do. Now, I remember when my children came and said, please, please let me sweep the floor. Please, I want to help. I want to help. And there's a lot of times I'm like, it's just easier if I do it. But then once I discovered they were getting older and there was more needs, I thought, we need a little bit more help. I can't do it all by myself. So we started having chore charts. And one thing I want to say about chore charts is they are wonderful. They keep things going in an orderly manner, but they also are ever changing. They change when summer comes, when school goes. They change as the children get older, their skill capabilities. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We want to acknowledge, we're going to go through the 8 concepts. And the first concept is acknowledging the age appropriate chores. When a child is matching and learning how to big, small, that is a great time to have putting the silverware away for that child. One of my children's friends, I was asking him the other day what he learned about work, and he said his mom had routines. The routines help them establish work ethics. And those skill levels came at different times in his life. From learning to brush his teeth as a work, and he said his mom would be there and he'd sit there and she'd brush his teeth first, and then later she started letting him brush his teeth with his hands. She'd stand behind and do that, and then he eventually started doing. So she kind of did a 3-tier layer, and that's what we do with our children, right? We have clear directions, and this is under responsibility. So first is acknowledge their age appropriate chores, the skill level, what's their interest, what's their capability, and creating charts for those accomplishments and seeing their growth. And I think that's fun too, is if you can keep that chart and keep track of the different charts, they can see how they are progressing in their work ability. Also about work is about service. It's looking for the opportunity to open the idea of looking at what needs to be done instead of being told what to do. So when you're creating those opportunities for them to do a task, help them by asking questions such as, can you go see what's on the table and what needs to be done to get it ready for the next meal? And then the child can go and look and see, oh, my plate's still on the table. Maybe I should clear it off. And then they could think maybe it needs to be washed off because there's things on the table, and to have it ready. And of course, this comes as they grow and their ability to learn. So acknowledge their age appropriate, the skill level, the interests, the abilities, and the chore accomplishments. Second responsibility, make sure they're clear and they understand what their responsibility. Sometimes I have to label what they do in the bathroom, sink, bathtub, toilet, floor, going from up to down, or, whatever your system is for cleaning that area. And don't get really picky. When they get the job and they are on their own, congratulate them for what they've already done. And then you can go and continue to teach next time. Let's do this. Or you may have them go back and take a second task at it, second ability to go in and finish it correctly. So be clear in what the job requires and the steps for the job so that they know what that responsibility is, and they know what's that chore chart also helps them understand what day they need to be done on, and maybe if you have a time schedule that needs to be. The other concept is beginning where they are. Many times, as individuals, tend to look around at what everybody else is doing and how accomplished they are. And maybe you didn't start age appropriate chores when they were 3, 4, 5. And you find yourself doing more of the work and letting them have more of the free time and the more exploration and what they want to do. But you're ready to just start having them be a part of the family routines and work. Sometimes that can be really overwhelming for them if that's something they haven't done and it's a change. So when you work with them, begin where they are. What are they capable of? What are they already doing? And don't compare them. They can't compare themselves to the others, and we can't compare them. Each child is individual. So remember that where they are is beginning, not looking back as what they didn't do or what they did do. We're beginning right here and now. And that will help with the self-confidence, that will help with the desire and the willingness to go forward. And that's what we want. We want them to be willing and have a desire to contribute to the home and to society. And we know that not everything goes perfect. There are some challenges. And just with ourselves, and a challenge comes, we've got to find something, a solution to come over that barrier. So what we want to do is teach our children how to be problem solvers. I can tell you that if my child knows there's cookies on top of that refrigerator and they're only 3 or 4 years old, they have been able to find a chair, push it over, climb on their chair, climb onto the counter, and get that cookie jar. If there is a desire for something, they are willing to put in the effort to get there. So when there is an having to overcome an obstacle, let's give them tools. And ask them questions. What would you do, or what do you think you can do to get that door unstuck? Or what can you do to, I'm trying to think some situations I've done recently with my children. Maybe I'm trying to think, okay. Oh, I had a phone call the other day, and they had locked their keys in the car. And I could have rescued, I could have run up and said, hey, I got AAA, I got you covered. But it's time for them to learn from that opportunity. What can you do to get the keys out of your car? And so they had to think about who they could call, what tools they had. Do they have a window open? Do they have, they went and bought a jimmy thing and tried to jimmy it open. And eventually they called AAA or a locksmith and had them come in and open it. And as easy as it would have been for me to go 3 hours to rescue them, it was better for them to problem solve and to find that opportunity. So we have overcoming obstacles, and then building. That we don't, we build from where we're at, our work ethics, our tools, cleaning the bathroom. What do we have? We have the mop, we have the spray, we have the rags, we have the window cleaner. What else do you have to build it? Your resources, and maybe an additional rag to wipe down the walls, additional things to look for to contribute to our home. So building is not a lack of resources. It's what can we add to our toolbox? What additional skills can we learn towards our work ethic, to giving back to our family, to our home, to the community as we continue to build our work ethic. Another, so as we're building a child, when they're learning to walk, right, we cheer them on. Like, let's go, you got this. And when they fall down, you cheer them back up. And when they get to around 4 or 5, we get in there like, no, not yet, you're not. But we want to make sure that we're saying, yes, okay, that didn't work, but what works next? And let them problem solve and think, opportunities and ways and who they can give to as they're building those resources and their opportunities to work and to gain the skills of making sure they do the job right. And if they don't do it right, to go back and do it again, to take maybe criticism or constructive feedback onto how they can increase and be better. So they've overcome the barriers, they're building from the tools they have, they're going forward, they're adding more skills to their resources and opportunity. The next is to be grateful, gratitude. It's really hard to be grateful for work. I know when I say it's time to go to work, some times we hear at home or at work of employment, oh, do I have to? That's so much work. I have to mow the lawn, but that takes work. I have to, can you go sweep the patio? That takes work. Work, we have to remind, is an opportunity to get a means. So showing gratitude that we are so grateful that we have this clean patio to have dinner out here. We are so grateful that the lawn is not, it looks so neat and makes our home look so beautiful. But also they being grateful when they're at a job and working and it's so busy and they're just like, oh, it's so busy with all these people. Gratitude that they have the opportunity to serve the community and to serve their employer and to help provide a service. At home, we're providing a service so that we as a family can enjoy our surroundings and be able to offer what we have to others because we are in an orderly manner. But it's hard. It's hard to find gratitude for work, but looking for the benefits and helping point that out, how they've contributed to our family, their efforts. So it's really great to take them and remind them that they should be grateful that mom works in the kitchen to make dinner so we can all eat. Dad goes to work and earns a paycheck so that we could have a roof over our head and food and clothes. And we should be grateful that we have the opportunity to contribute to free up more time to go play at the park or to go watch a movie together and spend time as a family instead of we're stuck at home because mom has a chore list a mile long. So look for the opportunity to teach them to be grateful for work. And that is something that helps us in our work ethics. Networking. Kids talk to kids. My kids go talk to other ones and say, so do you have to pay insurance? Do you have to, I guess that's kind of, so they talk to each other and compare notes. When they're at each other's house, my friends' kids love to help clean my house. Or when my kids are at their friend's house, they help clean their house because they enjoy that environment of working together and being at somebody's house and contributing. So that's kind of fun to see, but they also get ideas and learn different skills. I remember one young man came and was teaching my daughter was sweeping the floor. And he goes, no, let me show you how it's done. And he would sweep and then he'd tap it. You sweep and then tap it. It's not a concept I ever thought about, but I even now sweep and tap because of what this young man shared with my daughter on how to sweep. And it helps get that dirt and stuff off the room instead of just keep spreading it. So networking is really good as the kids talk to each other. And one of the things I talk about insurance, phone bills and things like that is in our home, if our children want a phone, they have to go find a job to pay for the phone bill. If they want to drive a car, they contribute to paying for that insurance. And what's that done for my children is they have become independent enough to know that there's responsibilities that come with those benefits. And teaching them to have jobs at home and laundry and dishes and making the meals and contributing to the home has created a work ethic so that when they go out, they don't have to be taught how to clean a bathroom. Some of their jobs, that's a responsibility, clean a bathroom, even though you're a manager, even though you're at the front office. Everybody has that opportunity to get down. And so you're helping the employer, you're helping your children if they can learn the basics at home of knowing how to clean the dish, how to dry and put away, how to keep things orderly. So that takes us to contributing, ways of giving back, ways of serving others. I love the opportunity that we have, whether the leaves fall or it's snowing in our neighborhood, we have the opportunity to go and give back to the neighbors and to take some of those skills they've learned in their home. One neighbor needed help organizing a room that had just things thrown into it, and that the kids, my children, were able to go with us, and we were able to take and organize and help give back. Giving back to society is pretty much what work sums it up, is offering our service, our skills to better the things around us. So from here, with Momavate, we want to remind you that when you're taking these vision or this work ethic or opportunity to use these 8 concepts, you want to write down your vision. What do you see for your children, for your home? Create a plan, and in that plan, you will do your details of how you will accomplish it. After you have your plan, remember to get out the calendar and write, when is it going to start? When's it going to happen? And when we're going to relook at this, and then let's implement it. Implement your vision and your plan so that you can see if it's going to work. And when you implement it, you're going to be following through. So this has to do with like your vision, your planning, your calendaring, implementation, and then your follow through. And after you follow through, you take time to meet together and you look through how it went, and then you make your adjustments. For example, when let's see. For example, when I was looking for an opportunity to help my children work here in our home, I visioned this great, beautiful, everybody working together, singing together, and each having their own chore. And so I wrote out, and here's this list of this chore, here's this list of this chore, here's the list of this chore. And everybody got their lists. And we were going to do this every Saturday morning. Everybody would have a list of chores, and because I'm a list writer, and so my vision was give them their list, they'll just go do it. Now, with 8 children, some of them just love the list. They go in, they get their job done, they mark it off. And then they had others that was a little overwhelming for them. So I had to take that back, make adjustments, and find out what worked for those children. And I can't say that it was easy, but what worked for them was having the same chore every week instead of mixing it up. I have another child that I would make the list, but then I'm like, oh, wait, I need you to really do this. And that didn't work for him. If I changed the list, it was a meltdown. So I learned with that child that child needed to have I could give him a list. It could be different every week, but I couldn't change it. I couldn't add to it, or it would disrupt the love in the home, the peace in the home. And so when you're doing your planning, it's okay. It's not going to be perfect. And we're just all learning through this opportunity to just improve and do better. We want to thank you for joining us on our Momversation and coming to learn a little bit about work in the home and different ideas you can do in implementing the 8 concepts. We want to encourage you to go to our website, momavate.org. And if you sign up on our newsletter, we'll send you a digital copy of our Smile Journal. And Smile is where we're here to support you through music, inspiration, laughter, and education. And the education is through the Raise Up acronym. We are so grateful you joined us, and we hope that you take the opportunity that if you have a passion in any of our Raise Up acronym, whether it's relationships, income outgo, system schedules, atmosphere, energy, please go to our Momversations on the website and let us know that you'd like to be on our Momversations. And remember, the last half hour, we sit here and we talk together and go over and exchange ideas and thoughts and do our own networking here at Momversations. It has been a joy and a pleasure. If we just want to again thank you for this opportunity to share this information with you. So a little bit, I'd like to tell you about Improvision. Improvision is where we got the 8 concepts for this work ethic. I am currently putting together a training with a few businesses around to help train employees, employers to train their employees so that it can have a better customer experience. And we go through those 8 concepts in the training of helping the employers help the employees in that experience. And we'd love to have you check out our website. I'd love some feedback on improvision.org. And I love working with Momavate. I'm co-founder, and it's a joy is putting together this curriculum so that we can bless the lives of other moms. We'd love to have more of you join our team if you want. And again, go to momavate.org and you can look for submit an application to volunteer with us. We also have the revolving closet going right now, where you have an opportunity to go and exchange clothes, donate clothes, so that we can benefit the lives of other moms. We also want to give a thumbs up for Reagan. I can do that since I'm here on the Momversation today. We really appreciate her heading up Momversations and giving me the opportunity to share with you on the value of work. I really am passionate about teaching our children to find within themselves their capabilities and skills and to build upon it. It's exciting when I get to hear from the employers for my children. I mean, my oldest is 32 now, and it's just awesome when I get to hear employers say, your kids are amazing. They are hard workers. And my son, just as he gets offers of jobs all the time from other people, but he loves where he's at. And even though he can make more money, he enjoys the environment he's in and what he's contributing. So it is exciting as a parent to see that they have taken their own personal, the word I want, their own personal, no, it's the word, responsibility, their own choices to contribute back to society. And that as a mom is really a joy to see. We can just be grateful that we have the opportunity to continue learning, to continue to improve upon the vision as moms. None of us are perfect, but we're all doing a great job. And I want you to know that you're doing a great job. And you may get frustrated and you have to deal with personalities and things, but just stick to it and, live each day a moment, sometimes at a time, maybe an hour at a time, maybe half of the day. But sometimes we just got to take a deep breath and we got to remember that we're doing okay and we're just improving, and we allow our kids to improve as we teach them principle, step by step. And again, thank you for joining Momavate. Check us out at momavate.org. Learn our 8 concepts through improvision. Thank you.